M-tech M Sport package front sway bar of an E90 328 BMW. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, and I have a cutting tool here in my hand. So we're cutting something today just because, I guess. I have my M Sport front sway bar here that is not on my car anymore. I'm always curious to see what's inside. So this is a front sway bar that came off my M Sport M package 328. It's not exactly the same bar as a regular on a regular suspension. There is not just the diameter difference, but also the bushings. The bushings and the bushing brackets are not the same. If you watch one of my videos where I complain about all this, these bushings are molded onto the bar, so it's almost close to impossible to really do a replacement for the bushings. At this point, you can just get a set of regular front sway bar bushings and a pair of brackets for those bushings, because the diameter here is a straight diameter. You just need to clean this up properly, and you can install this bar with the regular bushings and brackets. These are not regular, like I said, these are specially shaped. They are M package, whatever specific bushings and brackets. And like I said 3 times already, the bushings are pre-installed onto the bar. They are molded onto the bar. So I have a cutting tool and I have a measuring device. So the thing number one is that this bar is tubular, as we can see by the ends of, if you really look at the ends of the tube where it's squashed. So it's definitely a tubular construction. So it's not a solid bar like, well, name it H&R 28 millimeter or something like that. Those are solid 26.8 millimeters, but I think it's a 26.5 millimeters bar. That diameter is present here and here. Where the bends are, the diameter goes down to like 23.7, almost 27. Well, no, it's 26.8 right here. And like I said, this band 22 millimeters at the thinnest, and then right here it's a 23.5 or so, 23.7, somewhere at the end it's about 23.2 millimeters. There's the center section, and this center section is 23 millimeters. So basically this is where all the twist really happens, I guess. Or I guess that's the way to control the stiffness of this bar. So this center section can be shorter or longer, or actually not be present at all on, for example, M3 bars. There's a center section, and like it just measured, if the bar is 26.5, the center section is 22.8, 22.9, so almost 23, and the length of this center section is about, I would say, 95 to 100 millimeters. So that's about 100 millimeters here. That's the outside diameters, and now we are going to go to have fun. And at this point we're going to start using this cutting tool, and we're going to cut this bar. So the way I see it, we're going to cut to find out what's inside of it, how thick the wall of the tube is. We're going to cut it in the middle, and where the main diameter. We'll see how this goes. And I'm kind of on the floor of my garage. Yeah, that's a little bit not a professional setup. And I already see a problem. This is not really easy to cut. Yeah, this metal is either my saw is not sharp enough, or this metal is really well, let's replace the blade. So imagine that the proper tool for this job would be a bandsaw, which I currently don't have in my garage also. So we'll just try a different blade. This is not happening. Oh wow, well, let's try another blade. Guys, this is just not really working. Wow, I don't know what kind of a metal it is, but this sawzall, these blades are not really doing much. Wow. Well, I guess today is going to be a fail video. I have another blade that is really aggressive, probably not meant to be used for anything like this, but it says carbide teeth. That may make a difference. The carbide works, but it's not as good as I hoped it would be. Carbide or not, it's really chewing things up. This blade is not holding against this German metal. Well, made in USA. So far USA 0. Well, 0.5 or point. Germany 1 point. I mean, it's cutting. It's a slow progress, and the blade is just getting dull. I can see that. What if we tried a different tool? Let's find out. So I guess today's video is not about finding out what's inside of this bar. It's finding out what kind of a tool you can use to cut a sway bar. Here's something else that I can try and use. This is a cutoff wheel, and unfortunately I only have one of them left. I have one, and it seems like this is the best thing to use to cut a sway bar. Yeah, let's go for it. Goes through like butter. And that's a cut. So we had one sway bar, and now we have two of them. Well, two halves. Well, at this point we can do some measurements, but I don't know if I should go for another cut. I don't know, do a cut here, probably. Let's do that. Well, at least we can get two measurements, I guess, this way. Well, here's a piece of a sway bar. Should we try and cut this somewhere else, just for the fun of it? So we may actually have a cut here. That's a possibility. Well, let's do that. Well, the disc is still okay. I mean, some of it is gone, but we have three pieces of the sway bar, chunks of metal. At some point in my life, I had all the tools a machinist needs. And what we have here is three pieces of our M-tech M-Sport package front sway bar of an E90 328 BMW. So these three pieces are actually, used to be something like this. I cannot even put this puzzle together anymore, but it was something like this. This is what it used to be like. Well, this is one half. At this point we can do some measurements, and I guess we'll start with the center section. The center section, which is 100 millimeters long or so, is about 23 millimeters on the outside, and the wall thickness here is going to be 4 millimeters, 3.96, 3.97. So that's 4 millimeters wall, and the inner diameter is about 14.8 millimeters. What's important, I guess, or the numbers that we can remember, is 23 millimeters outside diameter and the wall thickness of 4 millimeters. I guess that's the best way to go by. Now we move on to the main diameter, which is, this sway bar is called 26.5, and it's about 26.8 on the outside. And the wall here, oh wow, this is amazing. So the wall here is 4.6 millimeters. Wow, that's a difference. Yeah, it's about 4 millimeters here. 40 here is 4.7. So what we have learned today is that the center section, being smaller on the outside, also has a smaller wall thickness, where the regular diameter 26.5 is, the wall is about 4.7 millimeters, and here where the outside diameter is 23, the wall is 4 millimeters. So this is not just a smaller diameter on the outside, it's also a thinner wall, which makes this 100 millimeter center section the weakest point, which is kind of weird, but I guess that's how this sway bar is engineered. So I guess the German engineers, they knew what they were doing. There's no point in measuring this, because this is the other end of this, where the sway bar twists or turns around the front lower control arm front forward. So the outside diameter here is 23 millimeters, and the wall here is 4.3. So 23 millimeters on the outside, 23.4, and the wall is about 4.3 millimeters. So this is really weird and bizarre. This is a 23 outside, 4 millimeters wall, 26.5 outside, 4.7 millimeters wall, 23 millimeters outside, 4.2 or so wall, I guess due to the shape, the way it has been bent, it is what it is, I guess. I guess this is it for this video. What have we learned today? I don't know, not much. So the bottom line is that this is the weakest part of this sway bar, the center section. And if you have a regular sway bar and the center section is even longer, so that will twist or reduce the stiffness even more. And I guess that's how it's controlled. The stiffness of the sway bar is controlled. And yeah, if you have an M3, well, I do have, I just don't want to cut it. Maybe I should, just for the fun of it, just to see what's going on inside of it. But the M3 board, the regular, not E93, but just the regular E90, E92 M3, the sway bar, that sway bar is 26.5, and it doesn't have the center section like this, so it's 26.5 all the way through, except for the twists and bends again. And I'm assuming at this point that the wall thickness on that bar is consistent through the 26.5 diameter in the center between the mounting bushings. So that's what changes the stiffness of these bars. The presence of this center section is what's reducing the stiffness. And well, I guess this is it for this video. A nice souvenir. I don't know if I can make something out of this. An extension for something that could be fun to use. So guys, this is it for now. Thanks for visiting my channel. Thanks for watching my videos. Leave some comments, subscribe, thumbs up, thumbs down. See ya.